Pleased with the outcome last week. I thought we did a lot of things better after watching the film. Still many things we need to clean up, and we need to play with more discipline and got to get some things cleaned up before we play this week's opponent. Excited about the opportunity to play Florida. We know that's going to be a very big challenge, big game, team that's very well coached, very good athletes. So it's going to be a good environment. Obviously very disappointed for Terry Wilson, and greatly appreciate what Terry has done for us and the leadership that he's given this team and the way he's played the past year and 2 games. So it's been a long time since somebody's helped us win 12 out of the 15 starts that he had. So that's quite an accomplishment for Terry. I believe that only Alabama in the SEC has a better record over those 15 games than us. And so Terry's a big piece of that, and to be the starting quarterback to lead us to the 12 victories out of 15 opportunities is saying something about him. So he's going to be missed. We appreciate him. I do anticipate a full recovery from that. Should not be an issue. Very similar, really the same injury that Darius West had. And Darius came back with no hiccups from that whatsoever. So anticipate a full recovery from Terry, and we'll miss him this season. But excited to watch Sawyer grow and to give him the opportunity to lead us, and we're confident in him.
Well, speaking of Sawyer, this pretty much goes for any position on any team, any sport. That when your star, your key player goes down, it's all about the next man up. He has to be ready to be prepared, and this is what those guys look forward to. It's sad to say it comes this way, but they look forward to this opportunity. How important is it that guys be ready to step up when it's time?
Well, it's you're right. I mean, we always talk about that and prepare, and those guys work extremely hard. All of our backups and all of our players, and we, through the course of a game, we played many players. I don't have the exact count, but I know we played a heck of a lot of players this past game. And so, with the quarterback position, it's obviously a little bit different. And but the good news is that Sawyer's been through this. Sawyer's played a lot. He's had to step in. He stepped in this past week and played very good. So, we're excited about him and we're confident in him.
How do you feel about the depth behind Sawyer at this point? I mean, I know Walker's been working back from injuries for a couple of years now, and then Monty, I assume, would be the third guy?
Yeah, I mean, obviously, with Nick being hurt, Nick got hurt as well, and Nick was getting a lot of third-team reps early in the summer, and along with Walker. So we have confidence in Walker and Armani. They just need a lot of, they need a lot of reps. They need some time.
Mark, you draw comfort from the fact that I guess it was 2016 when Eddie and Darren and you guys had to do the same thing, which was change quarter.
Well, exactly. We went through it when Drew went down, and Terry stepped in and led us and did a very good job. So it is what it is. Again, I just feel for Terry and appreciate what he did, and I will say I'm just proud of the way he's been playing and progressing. He's looked very, very good in the first 2 games and looked good all summer, and wasn't perfect, but he looked much more comfortable, and all the things he worked on through the off season were coming to fruition here this season. He was getting better and better. So I just feel for him because I know the work that he put in. But again, he'll bounce back and make a full recovery.
What kind of things do you see different with Sawyer that he can add to the offense as opposed to Terry?
Well, I mean, there's a strength and a weakness with every player. And we feel like Sawyer does certain things better than others, and and we'll build on those. And I'm not gonna sit here and tell you the game plan.
But I mean,
yeah.
But there's his strengths.
Sawyer's he's a good football player. He's accurate. He throws the ball accurately down the field, and he's played a lot of football.
Glenn, with the season ending, especially at quarterback, what role does the staff play in kind of easing concerns in the locker room that the all's not laws we're going to move forward? And how much that falls on the player, leaders in the player?
Well, I think it has to do with all the above. Just like you mentioned, the coaches and the players and everybody just understanding that we all feel terrible for Terry. you know, and as I told the team afterwards, and I could tell just by being in the locker room after the game on Saturday that guys were disappointed, you know, and flat, and really felt for Terry. And you know, part of that may have been that, you know, maybe just felt like, again, we didn't play our best, and I think a lot had to do with just Terry and their feelings for him. But I anticipate everybody today will be ready to move on and ready to play, and players understand that, and it's kind of a harsh reality of our sport that there's going to be injuries, and that the team is always bigger than any one individual. And I tell them that all the time, starting with me. I could be replaced in a heartbeat, and so can anybody on this team, anybody in the organization, and you have to step up and move on.
Mark, and all that said, how important was it to the guys who felt so bad about Terry to see Sawyer step in and immediately have success?
They've had confidence in Sawyer, so yeah, I think it's important that Sawyer goes in there and first pass he throws is a touchdown. That's pretty good. I told him, you know, he came off. That's a pretty good start, 1-for-1. So yeah, he's. I think the guys have a lot of confidence in him.
Lynn told us Saturday that he thinks maybe he's been a little too anxious to make big plays when he gets the ball. How much does he especially have to guard off that now, trying to put the team on his back and do those things?
Well, I think it's common, you know, we talk about that. I talk about it till I'm blue in the face, and relying on our preparation and your technique and all those things, and doing the little things right, and big plays will happen. But that's easier said than done. When they get out there and they get under the lights and they get playing, and it comes from a good place that guys really want to do well. Lynn's not alone. There's a lot of guys, and even defensively, and guys that have played football for us that are not doing the little things that we got to keep on coaching and get them to understand and play within the team. So you know, he's not alone, but he's trying to do right, and he's trying to make a lot of plays, and he's worked hard, and he'll get those opportunities. And we went to him quite a bit this past Saturday and targeted him a lot, and we'll continue to work the ball in his hands, and he'll continue to make plays for us.
Do you think some wins, is that just getting those where he's getting more opportunities? Is that part of it, just kind of negotiating through that for him?
Well, I think, you know, early on, it's just he does a lot for us as well. I mean, he's got a, you know, he takes a lot of snaps. You know, he's back to a kick return, punt return, and played quarterback and fly motions, and, you know, so getting reverses, and he's running around out there a lot, and then, you know, it's getting in shape, working himself in shape as well.
Coach, are the Ahmad Wagner pass interference calls getting comical at this point?
No. No. I want them to keep on coming.
What about Florida's ability to pressure the quarterback and what you've seen?
Yeah, they're just a very disruptive defense. Todd Grantham does a remarkable job. Very good coach. I have a lot of respect for, and they do just a really good job. They have really good players. They have some game records up there up front. They have 15 sacks in 2 games, and they always have great skill. So they're well coached in all facets of the game. Dan does a remarkable job. They're always really tough. They're a tough football team. Very well coached on offense, defense, special teams. So they do a good job with good players.
Mark, in the limited times that we've been around Sawyer and talk, he seems like a pretty laid back kid. Is that the way he is, and does that help him in this situation?
He's, I wouldn't say that, you know, he's not a laid back guy, you know, when he gets on the field. You know, he's a polite young man that's very likable. Our team likes him, and you know, he handles himself the right way. It's hard sometimes when you step into a program and you know, he hasn't been around the guys. He had to finish up summer school, so he got here late and plugged in, and he's handled himself the right way, and he works hard on the field and picks things up quickly. Guys have confidence in him, but when he gets out there, he's a competitor, and he's going to compete, and he's here for this reason. You know, he knew he was coming into a backup role, but this could happen. He's been through it. He's had to step in and compete at Troy, and you know, honestly, just like anybody, and you guys have heard me talk about it in here before, you never want to see the injuries and not to happen to anybody. But when you're building a program, it's always there's a bit of excitement to see the next man up and see how they respond and see how they handle themselves, and so he'll play well.
Folks, reminder, if you've got cell phones, I'll make sure they're on buzz, please. Thank you.
Mark, you've survived another 7 days.
Yeah.
What do you have to do to clean up this week in order to survive another 7?
Just it's really the discipline of the little things. We've got to continue to really hone in on and execute. You know, it's the little details that we can do much better. There's certain parts of the game that we're doing very good, and there's parts where we need to clean up. And you know, big piece of it comes down to discipline. You know, obviously the big things that are easy to see are the ball security and penalties. Those are some easy things to see, but there's a lot of discipline.
Although it's not obviously ideal to have your starting quarterback go down, but how much of an advantage is it with Sawyer already having experience before coming to Kentucky?
Yeah, as I mentioned, I think it's a big deal that Sawyer's been through this, so it's nothing new to him. He has a lot of confidence. This game or any game won't be too big to him. You know, he'll be very comfortable out there and stay within himself and rely on his players around him to make plays.
What might you gain from Sawyer being in that position as opposed to Terry from, you know, because they played last year, got to see him last year, and what Sawyer brings to the table as far as the offense goes against Florida?
I'm sorry.
Like, do you gain is there anything you gain at all? Having just someone fresh there that they haven't seen?
You know, I don't. It's not like we gain much. Florida knows what we're gonna. I mean, they you know, obviously there's tweaks and wrinkles and change ups to formations. There's things we do every week, you know, and we have a pretty large menu of plays and ideas and schemes, and but you're never going to wholesale change that. You know, you're going to build and tailor to the plays that Sawyer does well and that we're comfortable with him. But that's a large variety of plays that we'll kind of zero in on this week. But Florida knows, you know, the basic offense and the schemes and our basic schemes and all that's not going to change dramatically. So I can't see that there's a big advantage. You know, it's just like you guys hear me say all the time about that, whether who's in a quarterback, you know, unless it's a drastic difference, you know, we're going to do what we do. Florida's going to do what they do. They're not going to change drastically.
Mark, is there anything unique about the Todd Grantham pass rush that you have to adjust for?
Todd just, you know, he's, first of all, it comes down to getting you in third down. And they do a nice job because they're so physical, they're big and they're strong up front, and they can play press man. So and then he gets into the exotics. You know, he's you know, on the pressures. You know, he can get exotic on third down. So if you know, big key is, and one of the big keys for us a year ago was first down efficiency. You know, you get 5, 6, 7 yards on first down, and then you're in much better shape. And you know, you try not to get behind the chains. You know, you hear me talk about that a lot, but it's very, very important against a team like them. You get in third and long, and you do have a new quarterback, then they are going to be exotic. And you know, and a big term that we all seem to use in the defensive coaching is affecting the quarterback. It's not just pressure, it's not just sacks, it's affecting him, whatever way. It's condensing the pocket, keeping him in there with a guy that could run. Different pressures, different looks, different change-ups, coverage. So there's a lot of things they could do and you can do to affect the quarterback.
When game planning for a new starter, pretty much, are you like maybe some other coaching staffs in the past? How much do you ask the player what he's comfortable with doing?
I think that's part of it, is knowing what he can do and what he's comfortable with, and it's a balance, you know, with all the time. You know, even with Terry, it's building on the things that he likes and he can do, not so much continue. You know, you obviously want to build and work at things so they expand.